following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Hello, welcome to the Couchcasters podcast. My name is Jeff. This is Parker. This is Hunter down below. Gentlemen, roll tide. Welcome to Tuesday. What's up, fellas?
Roll tide.
Another day in the land of staying winning.
Yeah,
we're on a
we did win.
we are on a what? A 5-game win
This is
streak.
a fact.
5-game win
That's about the
streak.
best I can say is yes, we won.
A game was played and there was a winner.
A game was played and we had more points than the other team at the end.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like we won it though. I mean, it just felt like
it was.
we played it and then we just
good as
ended
it
up.
looked to end up as bad as it looked. You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
A tale of two
the
halves.
last
That's
drive.
for sure.
Yes, exactly. Except for the last drive. We actually milked the clock out on the last drive and didn't give them the ball back. I couldn't believe we did that. Now, I didn't see it live. I already knew the result. I was tied up Saturday for 11 o'clock game, but I watched it later. And even though I knew what had happened, still watching it, it was nice to see us actually bleed the clock out, be able to bleed the clock out. Which was kind of weird. Like I mentioned at work, Parker, if you remember this, I was like, why did we stop running the ball in the second half?
It's a big question.
We seemed to be running the ball fairly effectively. And then in the second half, after that face mask on Key, just stopped.
The whole game just changed. Yeah.
And y'all remember getting the text that I sent y'all. It goes back to the tale of two halves statement. Did we get Fonzie in here? No. Yep.
There he is.
Yep, there he is. Fonzarelli.
Fonzo. Word up.
But yeah, so with all that, I mean, to score only 2 points in the second half to a now 2-5 team, it's inexcusable. They're if I'm not mistaken, Ole Miss beat them by 3 touchdowns, by 21 points, but something like that. I mean,
No, they beat them by a touchdown.
A touchdown this year, really?
Yes.
That was it?
Huh.
Arkansas's 4 conference losses have come by a total of like 20-some points. A&M beat them by 12, but every other game's been within one score. Took LSU everything to beat Arkansas. They went on a last-second field goal. But you are right. It's inexcusable. That game should have been over for the fourth quarter.
I mean, when it was 24-6, like we should have been a kill shot or 2 kill shots. Pop, pop.
Yep.
It ended it.
Yep.
I agree. I mean,
And it was looking that way.
and I don't know who. I'm looking at a couple of notes here. Thanks to Jeff for giving me the idea for going down and writing that one down.
Good.
I don't know if anybody heard it on Monday. Saban's press conference was very telling in some of the statements. Kind of the underlying meanings that he stated. We're continuing to have struggles on the offensive line, especially at the left tackle position, times 2. Both Proctor and Pritchett. It's the product that they're putting on the field at that is it just can't happen. And I think there's a multitude of issues more so than maybe what the common fan or normal fan would realize. I think it's a multitude of things, such as, maybe the lack of ability at the position. Maybe they were recruited. I mean, and when we say, recruited too highly, everybody missed on this guy. Because Proctor was the number one tackle last year coming out of Iowa. I don't know many schools in Iowa that are very good. He was, big and better than everybody else. But again, everybody else was recruiting him too. So there's the thing on that too. So maybe we missed on some recruits as far as overvaluating how good they really are, based on the competition they play. But I think another thing goes along with, coaching issues. Maybe I know for a fact right now that for Saban, this is the worst coaching staff he's had, or I would say weak coaching staff as far as making changes and getting the most out of the players. But then it goes to the third point that I'm going to make is the fear of making a mistake, which I think is a lot to do in today's game with mentality of players. Now it is a player-to-player situation. Some players can, have more resolve overcoming mistakes that they make, and other ones do not. That's an everyday life. So maybe it's all the factors together. And, this is me just stating an opinion on something. Maybe Proctor he's so worried, even though he is really slow. His feet are really slow. His hands are really slow. I mean, but it's also with the majority of the offensive line too, is their hands are pretty slow. So, and the fear of making a mistake, well, he's like, well, maybe I'm trying to, I got to get my hands up real quick, make sure I don't make a mistake there. When he's forgetting about footwork instead of it all being a fluid motion. And, knowing that on certain calls, on certain block calls by the guard, who, in my opinion, I think there's obviously two of the seniority ones that are going to be drafted in the next year or so. With Latham and Booker being on there, but Booker's helping Proctor on that line, calling out and saying, telling him where his help will be coming from. And Saban said, how many different times do you have to know that you're going to have help on the inside, and all you've got to do is make sure nobody gets on the outside of you, and yet you still can't do it. So I know that was a lot to take in, but I think it's a multitude of issues. Could be, give me y'all's opinion. Am I just overreaching on it? And is it? I mean, does anybody else saying what I'm saying? Because it's not just one issue. It's steaming of many, many issues, and it could have been for how. Maybe it was all leading up to this in the past 4 years. It was just going to continue to happen. And this was going to be the result anyway, from maybe numerous coaches leaving. Obviously, that's a fact. But I don't know. I'm rambling. Y'all give me some opinions on it. I want to hear y'all talk.
I agree with most of what you said about Proctor. He's 360 pounds, though. Like, he's not a healthy weight for the position. He needs to shed about 30 pounds. I'm not ready to cast him off as a failure just yet.
Agreed.
I honestly think losing some of that weight would make him a different player. And there's a lot of mental mistakes he is making. And Saban alluded to it, Saturday. But there was multiple times just watching him. He was doing exactly what you said. He was going inside when he should have been outside. He was letting guys get in untouched. There was no tight ends on the field for some of those pass plays either. And he is much better when he gets that help. We can argue that he shouldn't need it. And I tend to agree. If you're going to be starting at left tackle in the SEC, you shouldn't have to count on having a tight end chip block for you.
Agreed.
But I don't know. He's a little bit of a project. He's a true freshman. He played small ball in Iowa.
That's a lot of things.
Different animal. Yeah.
And the thing is, someone I've talked to made the statement about, if he can't do it, I'm not saying write him off. I'm not saying he can't serve a purpose on the offensive line somewhere. The weight issue, he has definitely got a jock weight. There's no doubt about it. And it's going to be very telling. I think, Jeff, you stated it at work. Be very telling what kind of shape he comes in after this season. If he comes back in at 350, 360, whatever he's weighing now, and he didn't put in the work to drop weight, then it's going to be pretty telling. He might be in the portal next year, because we can't go through this again next year. We can't. It just won't happen. We cannot do it. But if you can't play the tackle position, as if he were to drop weight, put him at the guard position. I know Jeff said that. What was your statement on that, Jeff, at work? He's got to be some pulling stuff. Was that right?
Yeah, if he's slow and non-athletic, you can't play guard anymore because there's too much. You have to pull too much. You have to get out in front of the running back on plays to block out whoever's out there. And if you're big and slow and you can't get out there, you can't play guard. Almost, it's just.
And the other thing, going to the mental errors, penalties, and I know this is not going to shock any of you, but I think the later stat that I'm going to give you, not resulting in penalties, will even shock even worse. Through 7 games, where do you think we rank nationally out of 130 teams? Where do we rank nationally in penalties per game?
It can't be good.
I'd say like 95.
It's a good guess. What about you, Jeff? Hunter?
I'd say around there, 100.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me.
I expected it to be around there. It's actually, we're ranked 78th out of 130. We got 48 penalties total for 388 yards. We're averaging 55, almost 55 and a half yards penalized per game, which at the end of the game, I mean, if it's a close game, that's field goal. Right? That's huge.
Haven't we also allowed like 30-ish sacks? From what I heard
that was the next thing. Through 7 games, where do you think we rank out of 130 teams in sacks allowed? Guys, I'll let y'all think and ponder on that one.
Even lower. I mean, we're at the bottom of the SEC, I'm pretty sure.
Which isn't entirely on the offensive line, but
agreed.
It is. I mean,
I'd say it's either a 60-40, 70-30, 40 to 30.
Jalen had plenty of time to get rid of the ball or take off.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of those sacks, you're like, how is he still back there with the ball? I mean, they've been blocking for 4 seconds, 5 seconds. How is he still back there with the ball to get sacked? So,
we are ranked 126th in the country out of 130 teams. We have allowed 31 sacks through 7 games. 7 games. We've, at minimum, if we continue, this pattern, and I think we can get to the postseason, we're going to be playing 13 games. Is this number going to be 50? Is it going to be 60? 60 sacks? I wonder what the record is.
It could very well be, because this scheme and this offense with these linemen and Milroe playing quarterback, he's going to take 3 to 5 sacks a game.
Yeah. I mean, in this game alone, he was sacked 5 times for a negative loss of 34 yards.
I mean, this is who we're dealing with. This is who we have now. We have our only offense is home run every now and then, but the underneath game, the short game, he is so inconsistent at those throws that, I mean, it's just, he missed so many throws Saturday against Arkansas. Even the throw to Nyblack on that 3rd and 15 was more a great catch. It was a terrible throw. It was more of a really fantastic catch by Nyblack, to be honest with you. But it's going to bite us, and I think it's going to bite us in like 2 weeks.
LSU.
I don't think we have any shot of beating LSU unless we have like a pick six or a lot of turnovers or strip sacks or something. I know we're going off on a different tangent here, but yeah, as we get closer to LSU, maybe things will change, injuries, whatever. But as teams are currently constructed, LSU hang 40 on anyone. Even the best defenses, have a bad day or struggle guarding 2 NFL receivers and a quarterback that can put it in their hip pocket. So anyway, yeah. Yes, but the offensive line is 60-40 to blame for those sacks. Some of those sacks, he's got plenty of time to get out of there or chuck it.
If I could say my biggest nail in the coffin with those guys, and it was like such a grind in my gears, and it meant absolutely nothing for the outcome of the game. But like all we had to do was run out the clock, snap the ball to his freaking hands, and then we get a penalty for false start. There's 5 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah.
It meant absolutely nothing.
Disdain for that. If you saw him on the sideline when that happened,
and then you have some jackass sitting in the background just clapping, trying to hype up the crowd. It's like, what do you have to be proud about? What do you? Don't clap.
Well,
this is
all Burton's fault because Burton was running his yap back there. Burton was back there chirping.
That's the other thing. Burton needs to shut his freaking mouth.
Yes,
it ticks me off.
McClellan and Roydell were calming him down, and then Milroe, snapped the ball without making sure everybody was set. He just assumed everybody behind him was set, but as a quarterback, you got to turn around and make sure everybody's in place before you call hike.
Yeah.
Like once again, just mental gaffes.
Yeah, that talking's gonna bite Burton in the ass.
It already did.
And Milroe's little gaffes are going to cost us at some point, I'm afraid. Like the game's won, but no, he hikes it and tries to throw a screen pass and throws it straight into the ground. I get the idea, but not in that situation. Just like this one, you got to turn around and make sure everybody's set, then call for the snap. But it goes back to Burton back there chirping, and they shouldn't even have had to turn around and tell him to be quiet.
Yeah.
But you keep having to do it with this guy. He had one memorable game in 2 years. There are guys before you that were thrice the player that you never hear a word.
They didn't have to talk. Their work stood for it.
How many times you heard any of the rideouts acting like that? Even Jerry Jeudy, who's now, when he's in the NFL, is dancing in the background behind the camera, behind Steve Smith, hooting and yelling at that feud he's in. Even Jeudy, when he was at Bama, they didn't talk. They didn't say nothing.
I saw Jeudy have to donate some ACLs to people. It was, man was raw.
I mean, seriously. And then this Burton guy has one game in 2 years, and he's out there every play yakking and doing the whole coaching stuff and doing the shifting, and I mean, if every game you're going 9 for 200 and 2 touchdowns, all right, I'll take that with it. I understand what I'm going to get with this guy, but you're getting 150 and a touchdown every night, so just deal with it. But this guy, I mean, you're getting 2 catches and then a penalty, and and then so if you subtract that, his yardage, it's barely contributing. If you add in the penalty yardage from his receiving yards, it's barely doing anything. So yeah, I'm tired of that. But 24-6 early in the third quarter. I mean, you should knock these guys out. Credit to Arkansas, man. They never quit. They play tough.
To their credit.
On top of the whole thing, we did not have a single individual. Now we did in total yardage. We didn't have one individual person rush for over 100 yards.
We haven't had one of those in a while. Although McClellan had one, against Mississippi State, something like that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. McClellan had 16 attempts for 83. Roydell, 7 for 68. Now, Jam, he had 4 attempts for 40, so that was an average of 10 yards. And Justice Haynes get in there for a little bit with 2 attempts and 11 yards. So total team rush for 43 attempts, 176 yards, and 1 touchdown as a team whole. But yeah, it was Yeah, Milroe went 10 for 21. That's under 50%. 238, 2 touchdowns, and he did rush for a touchdown as well. So, yeah, there's my stats for the day on everybody. We were 6 for 14 on third downs. We had 5 penalties for 45. We did get the big man KJ Jefferson down 4 times. We sacked him 4 times for a loss of 38 yards.
Down, that's for sure.
What'd Saban say? A gnat on a cow's ass.
That's about what it was.
So, the guy outweighed him by 60 pounds, 70 pounds. So I mean, I would hope that guy was doing that.
Well, he didn't tackle low. That's what
he did not. He did not.
I mean,
he did tackle him low earlier, and he just was hanging onto his leg until 3 or 4 other people showed up and finished off.
That's what you need to do, though. It's like,
yeah.
I don't know why Terry and Arnold tried to wrap him up high.
It may just like in the moment thing, and then he was like waiting for some help, and help never arrived, and then he just said, "Off me!" And he just kicked him off like like you do your little brother when you're wrestling with him. He just threw him off and then threw a first down. Threw a pass for first down.
I mean, those stats for Arkansas, they just.
I mean, we holding steady at 11. We've been 11 for what, 3 straight weeks now. We went from 12 to 11, but
we don't deserve to move.
That's what we deserve.
Yeah, we don't deserve to move.
No,
we haven't proved anything.
No, we stay right where we're at.
Like I said a couple weeks ago, guys, it's one game at a time, and I hope they're out there in podcast world. One of you players out there is listening that you can understand. Just take it game by game. Don't worry about all the outside noise, all the stuff that you're going to be hearing. That's going to happen. Just have to deal with it. So,
I mean, sitting at 4-0 atop the West and 6-1. I mean, there's been several seasons where sitting here we would feel great about that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is one of those like winning with smoke and mirrors and really good defense.
I mean, they had 3 good wins before this week, though. I think everyone's really down on this team right now because of last week. They're not as bad as they were last week. They're probably not as good as they were against Ole Miss. They're probably somewhere in between, which I think honestly is probably good enough to win the West this year. LSU is going to pose a lot of problems.
A lot.
If we take care of Tennessee this week, beat LSU.
Yes, we can beat Tennessee if our defense stays disciplined, and sticks to the plan. I think we can beat Tennessee. I feel a lot better about the game against Tennessee. But the LSU offense is just a juggernaut that we have not come across yet. As good as Texas offense was, it was really more about play calling. But LSU's got speed and 2 NFL receivers right now.
Oh, I think this LSU offense is much better than the Texas offense as far as talent and
Daniel
ability.
throws one of the prettiest balls I've ever seen. And I was down on him last year, but this year he's
definitely stepped it up.
Playing for draft stock, man.
Where do you
help when you got Malik Neighbors and that other guy playing receiver?
He transferred in. Where did he come from? Wyoming?
Arizona State.
Arizona State?
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
He was a Herm Edwards boy.
Yeah.
I feel a lot better about Saturday's game with this defense.
Agreed.
Tennessee's just not very good either. That offense is rough. Their running backs are really good, but they have almost no explosive play potential this year.
Yeah,
it's shocking. I think they're second to last, or maybe even last in the SEC in explosive plays.
Yeah,
it didn't help when Brew McCoy went down, blew out his knee, a couple weeks ago. So, yeah.
No, but even then, I mean, Joe Milton
Yeah, that's a whole nother issue
I mean,
too. There,
he's averaging 6.5 yards per attempt. That's insane. Milroe's averaging almost 11, I think. So we should be able to stop him. The question is can we protect Milroe, or can Milroe avoid pressure long enough to hit the big plays?
But, yeah,
I mean, that's the thing. We're going to have to hit big plays. That's the only way we can consistently move the ball, is to hit a big play here and there. I wish we would really commit to running the ball a little bit more, especially when it seems to be working. I thought Jamari Miller looked amazing in his limited action. It was good seeing him in some space. Can't wait till we get to see Justice Haynes in that same space.
which I think you will towards the end of the season with this gauntlet we're about to run here in the last back half of the season. I think you're going to see that there. I mean, they're pretty fresh. Then again, I feel like all of our running backs are still pretty fresh since we barely use them. But there's talent like that. You just can't keep them off the field. That's for sure. But a week or a year ago this week, leading into this game. I didn't
put that up just yet. My bad. While you're talking, I mean you put.
Oh no, up. Yeah. It was. If y'all remember the choke job, the steal.
In honor of Tennessee Hate Week, I'm gonna run this little clip from a year ago.
We're not doing music today. This is a bitch fest here about that crap we saw on Saturday. The fix was in. It was 100% fixed. Everybody knows it. If you're watching the game, it was fixed. You saw it live on TV in front of your face. The fix was in. It's clear. And I'm fully convinced. I don't care what anybody says. And I know that it's ironic hearing Bam's bitch about not getting certain calls and whatnot. But that shit, pardon my language, was fixed. That was fixed from the get-go. You could tell the down marker guys, both of them getting it wrong, and then keying over there while they're saying, nope, it's fourth down. And they're like, no, I wrote it down. It's third down. I wrote it down right here. Key. No. All right. And then Mr. Ref that throws a penalty, a PI flag, a minute and a half after the play, 80 yards away, coming from across the field. Oh, guess who else was keying on the sideline earlier? That dude. Saw a picture of him. He over there keying on the sideline as well. Like, all kinds of crap went on in that game.
Jeff was a little fired up for that game.
I digress. That was my opinion in that moment last year. Obviously, I don't think the game was actually completely fixed, but some of it is can be definitely questioned.
Yeah, the PI.
Yeah.
That'll never.
Yeah. Even with all that, it still came down to Bob calling 3 pass plays in a row and giving Tennessee 3 free timeouts, even though Gibbs dropped the sure touchdown.
Yep.
Did not help our
good
case.
to blame though. I mean,
yeah. He walks in.
Reason to dwell on it.
But still, it's like just run the ball and let Riker's kick be the last play of regulation.
Mm-hmm.
It seems so easy, like football 101. It's like everybody knows that.
Well, we abandoned the run in the second half after that, this past week.
Yeah.
Which, again, Tommy Reese didn't call a terrible game. We didn't execute great. But when it's 3rd and 3 in 4-down territory, and you have the chance to put the game out of reach, and you've been running the ball down their throat for 3.5 minutes straight, just give it to your running back. Twice. If you don't get it the first time, give it to him again. I think that was the changing point of the game, really. I mean, we out-physicaled them all the way down the field and then, had to kick a field goal. So.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's like, once again, you're just sitting there going, this is just 101. This is just so obvious. Like it's why am I the only one thinking like this? And then Saban after the game will say something like, "Yeah, we wish we would have done this there," and I'm like, "Well, then do it."
Yeah.
Do you not know the play going in? Like, I don't understand. Or do you say run or pass? I don't understand how all that works. But it's like, golly, some stuff's so obvious. Like, you just illustrated it, Fonzie. It's like, just hand the ball off. Going for 3 minutes, running the ball down the field. Just why change up there?
I don't got the answers.
Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why change there? Why change it there? They don't own that crap this Saturday. Like, I hope Bryant Denny, the quietest 100,000 seat stadium in the country, like, gets loud. I hope we give them a reason to get loud. Like, I don't want to see any 3 and out to start the game. I see enough of that on Sundays.
Yeah.
Already, I will be in attendance for the game this weekend, gentlemen. So I will definitely be one of the 100,000. No matter what, trying to pump up the crowd. Give a little whoop whoop.
Holler, man! The crowd needs to be lit. That place needs to be lit.
Well,
for the 2:30 CBS game, but it needs to be lit there and loud and like the Oakland Raiders, man. I want people dressed in spiked shoulder pads with war paint on. Like, I want that kind of atmosphere, man. That's what we need to get in there and run these fools out of here.
It'll be loud. I mean, A&M last year was rambunctious, and crazy.
But I need
It was
Milroe to
similar
think in this game too. I'm going to need him to think about what he's doing.
but not overthink. Not overthink.
But not with the careless errors. Like not making sure everybody's set before snapping the ball in a kneel down play. Missing a guy wide open underneath because you're staring down something else down the field, and then you take a sack because you're waiting for it to get open. That kind of stuff. It's like, or if you roll out, just throw the ball away. Don't work from behind the chains. That's our problem, is we spend so much time behind the chains. We need to have mail sent there. Shout out to the unofficial UA assistant coaches for that. But yes. Stop living behind the freaking chains.
Pre-snap penalties. That's what does it.
Pre-snap penalty. Now, in small defense of Proctor, he's been ass most of the year. But I'm sorry that number 40 for Arkansas was a wrecker. Like, I don't know if you would have put whoever over there, they were going to block that guy. I mean, that guy was a game wrecker.
He was. But I noticed this with both Pritchett and Proctor, and their hands were so low the whole game.
Yeah.
He was killing them over the top the whole game. And Landon Jackson's a very good pass rusher. He's a very good player. I'm not discounting that. But the technique trying to block, no disrespect, by far their best pass rusher and really their whole pass rush. It's just astounding. Like, how is no one on the sideline? Well, I know why, because Flood's, 3 sheets to the wind. But how is no one saying coaching these guys up just real quick? It's a minor adjustment. I mean, they were getting crushed by Landon Jackson all game, and just that one little thing probably would have, at least stopped 1 sack, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe them all. But every single time, he's just killing them over the top. And
they're so poor technique. They're bent at the waist. They keep their arms too low. When you bend at the waist, it's over. You have no shot. If you're bent at the waist and your arms are so low, you can't get any leverage on the guy, on an edge rusher that is coming in already low and who's looking to get up under you or get up under your arms there. And if you're bent over at the waist, you can't do it. You can't. They're just, the technique is poor. And I don't know if it's going to take a year to get it out of them, or a full off season in the program. This is what I was going to say earlier about Proctor's. You know, I don't know when he got here. If he got here and if he graduated early, did he get here in January? Was he here for the spring? Was he a fall enrollee?
I think he was a summer guy because
well, either way, he did not have a full off season in the program. You know, coming straight from high school. So this is what I was telling Parker at work earlier today. This is a very big off season for him in terms of his career, because he's going to be on campus in the program for a year playing, and now an off season to get into shape, to tone up, to lose some weight, to get quickness back, to get athleticism back, and really dedicate this off season to learning technique, getting in better shape, being, you know, using this year as a building block, because it's been a rough year. I mean, it's been a rough year for him, but use it as a building block and challenge yourself in the offseason and be like, this is what it takes to play tackle in this league now. I got to get there, or he's going to be gone. Just like that. And they'll move somebody else in there. And Pritchett too. You know, I thought Pritchett was the far more athletic of the two, but he doesn't look any more athletic than Proctor does lately. He gets whipped just like Proctor does. I mean, it's like this is it. They obviously felt that Latham was not the best move at left tackle, that we were better off with him at right tackle and no protection on the blind side. That's what we felt, that it was better as a unit to have no protection from the blind side and Latham at right tackle. That's what he said Monday. That's pretty much what he said Monday, because then you weaken the line and yada, yada, yada. And our goal is to make Proctor better.
Well, it goes back to that statement, Jeff, that I made earlier about, you know, the two best offensive linemen we have are Latham and Booker. And Booker, right, being as smart as he is on the offensive line, him needing to be next to, you know, to Proctor to help him out with those calls and those block scheme calls. Because, I mean, you look at the other side, the other guard position, good Lord. I mean, Darian Dalcourt, whoever, 1 week, and then the other one's Ferguson, and then another week.
Roberts has played really well.
Roberts looked really good.
I think he's sewn that right guard spot up. I think he's got that locked down.
Good. But see, and that's, you know, and by next year, hopefully Roberts is on the same level as Booker, you know, and then you have two stud guards, and then hopefully progresses with the left tackle position. I mean, I think Latham will be gone after this year, right? Going to the draft.
I mean, I thought it'd be automatic, but, you know, he hadn't had a great year either. So he had a bad enough year where he would need to come back to improve his draft stock.
So, yeah,
you know,
I don't know.
Does he portal somewhere to play left tackle because he thinks that's how he's going to get drafted? I don't know. I was shocked that he was not moved to left tackle. That's just seems like the natural progression for these linemen. I think, did Wills ever move off right tackle?
I think so.
I mean, Fluker's the only one I can remember that stayed at right tackle through his tenure and then got drafted as a right tackle.
Broderick Jones for Georgia. I mean, elite right tackle in college, but they moved him to the left. And I mean, he wasn't all world, but he was really good there too. So, you know, even if you get
last year there,
even if you get a little reduction in play, like you got to play the best guy there.
So I'm saying that was my exact point. Whether if it's a left-handed quarterback, your best tackle's got to be the blindside guy. So then your best tackle needs to be the right tackle. If it's a right-handed quarterback, your best tackle needs to protect his blind side, the blind side of the quarterback. That's what that once again is like. Am I just nuts to think that? Like I would want my best tackle, even if it meant weakening the right tackle spot. I would want my best tackle protecting his blind side. That's just me.
I agree with it, but I mean, it goes back to the thing too about if you're unwilling to make that change, then why not go help out the weak link on that side, whichever it may be, either adding a tight end to do that little stunt blocking to help that tackle out when you shouldn't need it. Yes, as one of y'all stated earlier, I'm sorry, I forgot who it was, but
This year, this year it's clear.
But yeah, so I'm like, it's the inability to to make those kind of changes.
Right.
I'm just at a loss for words considering how hyped this offensive line was supposed to be, and we are going into game 8 now, game 7, yeah, no, game 8.
Seth is a problem too.
Yeah, huge.
A problem, but I mean he's getting whipped at the point too. He got whipped several times Saturday. Though he'll snap the ball and then just won't even get his hands on the guy. And that's I was saying earlier, Fonzie, about Proctor or whatever. There'll be times though he doesn't even touch the guy. He'll fire off the line, and he goes back in his little stance, and the guy's already by him. He puts his arms out, and the guy's already gone.
I think we put weight on him when he got here too. We did. That's a mistake. I think we put 20, 30 pounds on him
or something.
I don't think he's 360. I think he's bigger than that.
It was going to be like hand in the dirt offensive line, not, stand up block offensive line. That's going into the season. I was thinking these hogs up front here, they're just going to put their hands in the dirt, and we're going to grind people up. And then we got them all in shotgun, standing up, trying to block people.
We were way wrong on that one.
And go back and check the offensive line breakdown episode we did, where we were all just raving about the beefness of the offensive line. How we're just going to maul people and get back to old school, just wear you down all game, and then hit you the home run at the end. Blah 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 bitty blah.
Well, you would hope from the offensive line from last season. It'd be such a different room.
I mean, we had to go out and get Steen last year from Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
This year we roll a couple freshmen in there. It's like, man, maybe we should have portaled another tackle for a Band-Aid, a stopgap. Like I think Milrow is this year. Which that was an interesting debate we got into at work as well, Parker, was who's going to be the quarterback next year. I said it will not be Jalen Milrow.
Hey, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is if this offensive line doesn't improve.
That was your point. It's like, it don't matter who we put back there. If they got to act in the back, right when they plant their back foot, then it's not going to matter.
In the offensive line's defense, though, and we talked about it a ton on here week after week, but they do their job. I'm not going to say all the time, but probably like a good majority of the time. But when it breaks down, and I like Jalen Milrow a lot, but Jalen Milrow makes it about 3 times worse.
Yes.
With his decisions. I mean, I talked about it last week, all the different, you could have the same 10 plays, same exact defense. It plays out the same way. Jalen Milrow it'll be 10 different plays, 10 different things. It makes it hard to protect for him too. It does. I think that's another challenge that probably isn't talked about. Like it's kind of hard to protect for him whenever he's just all over the place back there. And sometimes he makes it happen, but oh my God.
That was such a good description. You could have the same setup, 10 plays in a row, same play, same setup, same defense, and he's going to give you 10 different outcomes. 6 of them will be bad.
Yeah, but the 4 that are good will probably go for a touchdown.
4 that are good are going to be, bombs. Or
oh my God, this is just beautiful.
High arcing, beautiful deep ball that just drops right into the guy's hand.
What's even crazier, it looks like he just barely flicks it too.
Yeah, he's like,
dang.
When the talent's there,
I know.
It's all there. I mean, Even the mental part's there half the time, but
Yeah.
Good luck against the Rebels this weekend. Good luck.
Yeah, Palmer needs a quarterback. We trade you Milrow.
I don't know. They're
I don't think I will go that far.
about as bad, if not worse. And I'm sorry, it's not. But all the Auburn fans, they know it too. They're just like, please.
Get us through the season. See if Hugh can find him a quarterback next year.
Those first 3 weeks were beautiful.
We'll be in the market too. Don't worry, we'll be out there looking too. We'll pass him in the same hallways. Hey, I know why you're here, buddy. High five going down the hallway.
Hey, we'll offer up 3 quarterbacks just to get one that can get us over the edge until Julian Sand can take the reins. Hey,
Go ahead.
We'll give you Buckner for free. We'll actually pay you to take Buckner. We'll pay you to take Buckner with you.
That name's not allowed to be spoken in Tuscaloosa anymore.
Well, he's still on the sideline. Should have taken his jersey away.
It's like you can leave now.
Thanks for showing up, but your services are no longer required.
His dad doesn't work at the complex anymore, or is code to go in.
Coach, I'm trying to get in here. I don't know who you are. Get out of here.
Pal. Sorry, pal. Yeah. But after that game, was that Mississippi State where Milrow ripped off that 50-something yarder where he just shot out of a cannon, split 2 DBs?
Yep.
Like you shouldn't be able to run that fast. Split 2 defensive backs who had the angle on you. So it's like after that moment, I was like, okay, he all right, he's seen now. Like, all right, if I just commit and go, nobody out here can run with me. There's nobody on the field that can run with me. So if I just commit and go, like that's it. So I thought like a light had turned on that night. And then he hasn't tried to do it really. Maybe a handful of times in the next few games.
But I'd asked Jeff if we had any like design quarterback runs really since that game, and I feel like we haven't.
Is he battling?
It's going back to that other.
Is he battling something we don't know about?
Well, I remember the hamstring conversation that came up. I think that was.
Well, it's pretty small, but
I thought it was too. But I mean, is that
unless maybe it turned into something?
I don't know.
He just doesn't seem as decisive when he takes off anymore.
Well, they run the one designed run I can remember from last 2 or 3 games. We've ran a few, but it's a speed option is really all it is. There's no read option. There's no RPO. I don't know if Milrow's incapable of making the right reads or he's too inconsistent with it, so they won't give him that play call, but that's much more of a wrinkle than a speed option off the right tackle.
Yeah.
I mean,
our running plays, even to the running backs, don't really seem like there's a design. It's almost like here's the ball, and then you kind of figure out where you want to go.
Sweet is what it is. And
it's like a very poor man's Le'Veon Bell almost.
Terrible.
Just kind of wait back there, and then
it's all inside zone running. That's all it is.
Yeah,
it's all it is. Every single time, we have no diversity whatsoever in the running game. I don't know if it's because the personnel, because we're really only playing 2 running backs, even though we got 5 that can play. We're really only playing 2. And
when we were getting the ball, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
That was my last sentence, and it's the same running play.
Yeah, but I noticed Saturday, like when we were calling up outside runs, we were dashing them apart. We were just gashing them.
Yeah.
Play after play, we were averaging probably 8 or 9 yards a carry on outside runs.
And I couldn't believe I was seeing that.
And we ran 8 or 9 of them. And when it was really working, we decided not to use it anymore. So
sounds about right.
Thank you. Like, what am I taking? I'm taking crazy pills here. Why do we keep going away from things that are working? Like
Because
running
that
the
would
ball.
be too easy.
And then we
that
go
would be
3 and
true.
out like 3 possessions in a row, and Arkansas is right back in the game. I'm like, what are we doing?
Mm.
Yes, but you're right, Fonz. I couldn't believe when I saw some outside runs. I think one time we even lined up under center. I think I about passed out. And I was like, was that an outside run I just saw?
It works. I mean, we have the skill to get to the edge. We have the talent and the speed. It's just
Yes.
And guess what? Proctor doesn't even have to get out there that far.
Make them have to run to the edge to defend it. Defenders have to run out there too. Make them have to expend the energy getting to the edge to make the stop if they do. If you keep doing that with four to three different running backs and fresh legs, whatever, eventually they're not going to get to that edge. The defender's not going to have enough gas in the tank to get to the edge.
Yep.
And if we execute right and block it right, it can be something. And we saw that Saturday quite a bit. Like you said, those 8 or 9 times, and then never again, and then never tried it again. I completely went away from it. I don't. Sometimes the play calling and the philosophy and it's just sometimes I'm just like, golly, guys, we're overthinking this.
I don't know. It's a lot of uncertainty. I mean, I could still see us, win 11 games, finish out the regular season, meet Georgia in the SEC championship. But I could also see, as to what you said, Jeff, we will up against LSU and they beat us by 21 points because we can't keep up with it. Even with that horrible defense, trust me, LSU fans, we know how that feels. I mean,
We're gonna have to score 30 points to beat them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no doubt.
Offense cannot score 30 points.
I don't think they've had to yet. And
I
besides,
was going to say, I don't know. I mean, Mississippi State, obviously, grain of salt. It's a team we should put some points up on, but
I don't know.
This week we probably would have put up 38 or 40 if we just executed. I mean,
that's my fear.
We went away from the run a little bit, but that drive after the field goal, we were moving the ball, and Noro just kind of missed the easy throws.
Huge fears. We're going to get in our own way. Miss the easy throws, silly penalties. Going away from running the ball if it's working. These are all. I'm worried about us being our own worst enemy in that game. Of course, I'm looking way ahead because we got Tennessee this week. I'm sitting here talking about LSU. Like we don't have a mountain to climb Saturday, but still, I don't know how bad the injury to Trez is or to Dupree. Malachi was in uniform Saturday. I don't think he played.
He didn't. He's expected to this week, but
so we're going to need him. I think he's got something to prove in this game Saturday as well.
Yeah. Good thing a guy named Jalen Hyatt is no longer there.
Yeah, so I don't know about Dupree's injury. I don't know what his status is, or Trez. But if Trez is out, that just means more Jod Campbell, which is a good thing.
The one position I think on the team that we could have some banged up players, middle linebacker. There's a lot of talent there.
Anytime Campbell gets on the field, that's a good thing for us. I don't want it to come at the expense of losing somebody else.
Agreed.
But he those 2 weeks that Lawson was out, he was the best defensive player on the field, or one of the best defensive players on the field. I mean, he was all over the place. So that was a
tackling machine,
which we haven't had at the middle linebacker spot in at least 2 years. So anyway, heading into Tennessee Hate Week, 2:30 Saturday, CBS from Bryant-Denny Stadium. Man, we got to win that one Saturday. So whatever you got to do, whatever lucky shirt you got to wear, whatever tradition you do for a game. Parker, whatever shirt you wear to the game that we win in, you got to break out all the stops.
Parker, I need you to tear down the goalpost.
Yep, it's up to you.
Single-handedly, I will do
Well,
it.
that's a good thing.
Just you.
You won't see a stadium full of losers rushing the field.
Yeah.
So you
It's
definitely
true.
won't
It's not that puke orange, because I mean, man, I just hate Tennessee. I just hate them.
Whatever. You won't see that.
Garbage truck convention.
Maybe Peyton Manning will be in the house.
Oh, I guaranteed.
You can't miss them.
I mean, yeah, I was about to say,
His forehead already got there. He's expected to arrive on Friday. His
Yeah.
forehead got there
Check
last
his
night.
forehead before he gets on a flight.
I will say it was fun
Ryan
seeing
Day
Johnny
this
football.
weekend, they're experimenting with the jumbotron. They're just going to let Peyton Manning sit in the upper deck, and they're going to project it on his forehead just to try to get the lighting right. See if they can get the lighting right. Imagine sitting behind that guy at a game. Oh man, I got to sit behind Manning. Come on.
He's doing his Manning cast.
That's why they do it in separate rooms.
Yeah. Eli's probably not too far away.
Oh man, he was trying to put that helmet on one time. Eli was like, "Stop trying to put that helmet on. You know it ain't gonna fit." Oh God, gentlemen. Well, here we are. We're on the backside of the season now. This season's gone by pretty quick. We got 5 regular season games left, and then whatever postseason games we're part of, or game we're part of, we'll see. But this is a big stretch here. Tennessee off week, LSU, Kentucky. This is a big stretch right here. So here's to hoping that we get some stuff figured out Saturday. We can stay focused, not really think about avenging the loss last year or think about last year, but focus on what their job is in front of them and just execute it. Like, it sounds simple to say, but let this be the game we put 2 halves together and have one pretty thing.
Agreed.
So, that's my thought. I think we're gonna pull it out 27 26. That's my prediction.
All right. I'm going to go a little bit more wide margin. Going to say, I say we win and we cover every week, but we're going to win and we're going to cover. It's going to be.
That was kind of high. I thought that was a
Gotta
little
happen
high.
eventually.
I'll say I could see us scoring 27. I'd say 27-14.
I would love that. 14-point win and a cover. I think it's 8.5. No clue how it was 8.5, but Vegas knows.
And Tennessee's still ranked. They're what, like 14th or something? They're not too far.
17.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
I think they've only lost once, haven't they? Just to Florida.
Just Florida, but
Yeah.
they have their issues.
I'm going to go. I've been kind of going back and forth on it. I can't decide if I want to. I don't know how good their defense is, and I don't trust this offense 100%, as anyone shouldn't. 28-14. 28-14. I wanted to keep it 14 points. I think this offense has enough firepower to do it with the explosive plays, but as to your point.
We lost Parker.
I think we lost him, yeah.
Maverick hit eject. Flat spin. This is not good. What do you think, Hunter?
I predict 24-21, exact same score. Making history here.
Nice.
Scores last week.
I'll take all those scores. If anybody are for
I'll
right,
still take it.
I will take it. I just want to win the game. I just want to
Yeah,
win.
at that point, just get a W.
Mhm.
Like,
Their secondary is brutal, though.
Yeah,
I think we
boy.
could really exploit it as long as
Yeah.
we can connect.
like it was like the A&M game. If we can hold them off up front and get to the secondary, they can be got. Like
Yeah, they'll fall
there's
apart.
plays to be made there. We've got to be able to get to the secondary though. Like he's got to have the time to be able to get to the secondary, whether it's throwing or even running or whatever. But we've got to be able to get to the secondary. There's plays to be made there.
Yep.
That can be got there.
Is he back?
Went from a black hole. There he is.
So anyway, but that's all. That's all I got for this week. Is anybody got anything else? The Steelers got lucky. We got talking about Bama, and I didn't unleash on this BS coming out of the bye week here.
Y'all got a good matchup. The Rams, right?
Yeah, we did our due diligence over the bye, so expect a big win. At least that's what was said earlier.
Well, you know, they're going to start Dan Morse again now that he's back.
Tackle.
We're going to move Broderick back to the bench, who graded the highest the 2 games he played of any lineman we've had in years in terms of lineman grades. But we're going to go back to Dan Moore. Okay. And they were emphatic that Matt Canada is not going anywhere. So, okay. So this is,
Maybe we should hire AB.
this
You
is
might need the money after.
Oh my god, I forgot about all that stuff.
Incident.
I forgot about that.
Oh man, perfect man. Who knew the impact that hit would have all these years later? Yeah, he's only 35. You know, you think he's like pushing 40.
Gosh, those
He's only
concussions.
35.
Oh, he'd still be playing at a high level, probably.
Yes,
Yeah.
he would. If he was in his right mind, he would be the top 2 receiver on our team right now. It'd be him and Pickens.
Yep.
Wasn't his first like real
there, but-
severe concussion with the Steelers? Is that kind of where it started?
Yes. When Burkhead took his head off in that game, he ain't been right since.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I mean, he hasn't. He hasn't been right since.
Nope.
Yeah, because if you watch him like pre that, he was still, AB, but he wasn't the AB we know now, I feel like. It almost got amplified.
Yeah. Well, he got all that money from the Raiders, and then it just
That too, that whole fiasco.
that pushed him into the AB persona that he kept. When he was just Antonio
Narcissism
Brown,
and CTE don't mix.
when he was just Antonio Brown, it was fine. When he became AB is when and got the money and took the hit is all when it just completely went sideways.
Yep.
And then, Le'Veon wanted his money and whatever. But yeah, I was going to unleash on Mike Tomlin and some of these decisions for the franchise that these idiots are doing up there, setting the franchise back a decade with this loyalty crap. Anyway, I can do a whole show on that, but anyway, so that's all for the game Saturday. Tennessee hate week. We hate Tennessee. We hope Tennessee loses every game. We hope we kill them Saturday in football. Like, we got to win this game. It's big.
Absolutely.
And I just got to add,
Go ahead, Hunter.
just one more thing NFL wise.
Yeah.
Regardless if you care about the teams, Tua versus Jalen, Eagles, Dolphins, Waddle versus Devontae. Heck yeah. I'm so excited for that game.
Yeah, 2 rideouts
What a cool matchup.
on the field.
Both 5-1.
And Julio will be in that game. What's left of it?
Oh yeah, Julio.
One
What's left
pass.
of it?
Done.
Is that Sunday night or Monday night?
Yeah, Sunday night. It'll be like 8:20. I think that's the game.
That'll be a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Regardless
good
if you
game.
don't care about the teams, it's just cool to see those Bama boys.
Jets Jalen shows up, Miami will beat him by 50.
Oh my gosh, yeah, so
But
frustrating.
if Jalen shows up, that's going to be a really fun game to watch. I'm
It's a
looking
good thing that
forward
the
to
49ers lost too.
Yeah.
They're
I'm looking
upset.
forward to that game, that Dolphins-Eagles game. That'll be fun to watch those two.
Dolphins are legit this year.
Really full circle from their history together. Now meeting on Sunday Night Football in the NFL as starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, just full circle.
For teams with aspirations. It's not like
Yeah.
some reclamation project or a rebuild. Like these are teams expecting to contend.
Yeah.
And both these guys are QB1s for them. So it's pretty cool.
Agreed.
So on that note, we can ride out, gentlemen. Enjoyed the show. Roll Tide Saturday. Tennessee. Bad.
Very
Bad.
bad.
Please.
And remember, guys, anybody watching, remember to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Thank you very much, Parker, for that reminder. And click the reminder button so you'll get notified anytime we upload one of these silly videos of us ranting about stuff. But until next week, gentlemen, roll Tide, beat Tennessee.
Roll Tide.
That's